Good day and Happy New Year to all of you. Welcome to another edition of Citizens Movement Radio News. Today it's Monday, 5 January 2026. I'm Katie Wechoma, ready to bring you the latest news and updates. Here are today's headlines on Citizens Movement Radio News. Maduro's capture divides opinion. 2026 is a year of people power, says Mkhwananzi. Disability rights advocates call for government to establish a national disability levy. Now let's take a look at our stories in detail. United States President Donald Trump announced the capture of Venezuela President Nicolas Maduro and his wife Celia Flores in a joint operation by U.S. security forces that was carried out in the early hours of Saturday morning. The adoption of Maduro by the U.S. government is now dividing opinion, with some sections supporting his removal from power on grounds that his government caused gross human rights abuses in Venezuela. On the other hand, others are condemning U.S. government for violating international laws. We spoke to veteran trade unionist Obed Masaraure, who shared his views on this issue.
Our views on the Maduro crisis are informed by our class position, and we always try to incorporate our class analysis to say capitalism by its nature is polarizing. It creates rich countries, poor countries. It creates rich people and poor people. And when we are looking at Venezuela, there's nothing different between Venezuela and Zimbabwe. We are countries on the periphery. And whilst we are in the periphery, we are feeding the rich countries, including the US, with our minerals, which are not with no value addition, raw materials, cheap labor, everything. And again, they then sell back to us processed goods. That's how we become poor permanently, and how that they get rich. And now when America is invading Venezuela for its oil, abducting their president, we know Maduro is a dictator. We know he has been oppressing his people, but we don't believe that America has a right to get into Venezuela and make decisions of the Venezuelan people. We know that the Americans have no interest to develop Venezuela. Their interests are to continue extracting raw materials, to get cheap labor, and to get markets for their products. So we stand with the people of Venezuela, and we are unapologetic when we say America has no business in Venezuela. We are not apologetic when we say down with American imperialism, because it is because of such imperialism that has kept nations like Zimbabwe and Venezuela poor. And we need to dismantle such a system and ensure that our countries on the periphery find each other at the global south and check their developmental path without the aid or the assistance of the imperialist forces who are our class enemies. So we stand with the working people in Venezuela, and we urge them to take this window of opportunity to reconstruct Venezuela and build a genuinely socialist Venezuela, where power resides in the hands of the masses of our people, the workers, the peasants, and everyone. Then they utilize their resources for the transformation of their country into a great country. We are not here on this earth to build the interests of America and other Westerners. We are here also to construct our own livelihoods, to chart our own path as developing countries, and build better lives for ourselves.
The spokesperson for opposition, Promise Mkhwananzi, has described the year 2026 as a year of people power. He added that 2026 presents another opportunity for citizens to unite against ZANU-PF's 2030 agenda that seeks to postpone the 2028 elections. Mkhwananzi said citizens must unite and resist mutilation of the constitution to prolong dictatorship. Let's hear Mkhwananzi speaking.
Well, we say congratulations to the new year, to the citizens of our country. This is yet another year of hope, another year of optimism, another year of opportunity, the opportunity to unite and resist dictatorship, the opportunity to unite and resist 2020, the mutilation of our constitution, in order to extend Mnangagwa's unlawful and illegitimate rule. We will unite as the citizens of the country and march together in peace and in democracy to ensure that this country is restored to constitutionalism and democracy. I speak today full of hope, full of energy, rejuvenated, to lead once again alongside the other leaders the struggle for democratization in our great Zimbabwe A great Zimbabwe for all, a great Zimbabwe for everyone. Thank you.
Disability rights advocates have called for the government to establish a national disability levy whose proceeds will be channeled towards technologies and education of people with disabilities. In a statement marking the World Braille Day, one of the advocates, Denias Mudzingwa, also called for the introduction of a government subsidy in order to make reading materials in Braille affordable. Let's hear Mudzingwa speaking.
Today in Shabani, we are celebrating the life and the birth of Louis Braille, the giant that pioneered the invention of Braille as a way of reading and writing for those with visual impairment. We are proud about Louis Braille because through Braille, we are independent. Through Braille, there is inclusivity in schools. Through Braille, there is accessibility of information. And through Braille, there is equality. So today, we are joining with other nations of the world in commemorating the life and birth of Louis Braille. However, we are doing that with dissatisfaction in the fact that persons with visual impairments are facing serious challenges in the country. First and foremost, Zhishavani district, where we are commemorating this today, there is no single school that is offering Braille. So we are calling upon Zhishavani district to ensure that they introduce Braille in primary and secondary schools. The other challenge that we are having is that Braille equipment are very, very expensive and they are not found in local shops. So there are no shops that are selling Braille equipment, Perkins Braille machine, slates, styluses. In Shani district, there are no shops. In Berry, there are no shops. In Kwekwe, there are no shops. In Mashingo, there are no shops. In Gwanda, there are no shops. So we are calling upon the government to make sure that they set up shops so that persons with visual impairment, they can also buy Braille equipment from local shops. Since these machines are very expensive, we are recommending that the government put a subsidy on all assistive devices that are used by persons with disabilities. Apart from subsidy, I'm calling upon the government to ensure that there is a national disability levy. We have seen that the government was more interested in introducing the HIV and AIDS levy 3%. We are also calling upon the government to make sure that there is a national disability levy. This will help persons with visual impairment to acquire assistive devices and schools to buy assistive devices like the Perkins Braille machine. So apart from that, we are also appealing to the government to ensure that all colleges, all universities avail courses that train all teachers so that they can read and write Braille. They can also use sign language so that when they teach in classes, we do not hire specialists. Everyone will be able to teach Braille. That's the inclusivity that we are talking about. So we are saying, let us be inclusive in education. Let us be inclusive in all aspects of life. Thank you.
Last Saturday, the police announced the arrest of serial murderer Eni Mozita, who is aged 32, following a joint operation with the military. Zwitser made headlines a month ago after butchering 5 members of his family in Guruve. One of the officials in the opposition, Stephen Sarkozy Chuma, applauded the police for a swift reaction that led to the arrest of the serial killer, but also challenged the state to use the same agency in arresting corrupt individuals bleeding the country. Chuma said,
Yes, welcome the news of the arrest of a notorious criminal, Enemo Zwitser, who had terrorized the community of Guruve, who had killed 5 people from the same family. And indeed, we applaud both the members of the military and the police for a successful operation that led to the arrest of Enemo Zwitser. This shows that our police and our military can do splendid things for the country with the right focus. This is contrary to a situation that we witnessed in 2018, where the military were making headlines for wrong reasons after killing 6 innocent civilians in the streets of Harare on 1 August 2018. This is contrary to the images that we see every day, where the police are always in running battles with the vendors who are trying to eke out a living. This is contrary to what we see every time when people want to protest against bad governance. The police always crash demonstrations and arrest individuals. But on this one, the police were spot on. They must focus on arresting all criminals. They must focus on making sure that our people live peaceful without fear of criminals. But he would also want to bring to the attention of both the military and the police about the issue of rampant corruption that is going on in this country. We have seen people like Shivayo, Kudakbasheta Gurei, Obadiah Moyo, Henrietta Rushwaya getting away with corruption. This is not the Zimbabwe that we want, because nobody is above the law. So we urge the police, we urge the military to make sure that they investigate cases of corruption in this country, because it is corruption that is killing our country. It is corruption that is making our people suffer. So the police will urge them to investigate cases of corruption involving Chivayo, Kudakwashita Gurei, Obadiah Moyo, Henrietta Rushwaya, and the other criminals that are surrounding Emerson Mnangagwa.
prominent activist Godfrey Karembera, better known as Matsibaba Veshanduko, was on Friday denied bail by the High Court and will appear at Harare Magistrates Court on 14 January for routine remand. Meanwhile, Kariba Member of Parliament Honorable Shine Kwangwaba, along with St. Mary's MP Honorable Brighton Majindu, visited Matsibaba Veshanduko in jail and condemned his continued detention, saying it violates his constitutional rights, which state that all citizens should be allowed bail. Teacher trade unionist Munyarati Masiwa said the presumptive rental income tax, which became effective from the start of this year, will see rentals shooting up by 15%. Masiwa said the tax, which targets business premises, will see prices going up due to ripple effects of the 15% tax. Let's hear Masiwa speaking.
Indeed, a 15% rental tax on business premises can have a ripple effect on our economy. You realize that these big business owners who own premises where there are tenants, they will just transfer that 15% to the shoulder of these small to medium entrepreneurs who are renting on their premises. And these SMEs will simply put that 15% or more on their goods and services that they offer to ordinary citizens. So ordinary citizens at the end of it will simply suffer, because business owners will give reasons like higher operating costs. And also we will see people losing employment because of this, and also there will be strict measures to employ more people, because business owners want to cover that 15% that has been put on their shoulders. So business ordinarily may freeze hiring or lay off staff to offset that cost. So we've got a potential slowdown in wage growth and even I'm talking about job losses. But we know for a matter of fact that when there is more tax that is being collected from the citizens, we expect that there will be also um, subsidies. The government must use that collected tax to subsidize social amenities. But we know our state, we know our government, they are not known for that. So we will generally, or in a nutshell, a 15% tax on commercial rents will usually passes cost to tenants, who raises prices for goods and services and nudging inflation up a bit, and landlords may absorb some cost if they can't, and we know they are not in a position to absorb any cost. We know the capitalism in our country, they would definitely put all the cost on the final consumer, who is the ordinary citizens. And our state, we know it, they will not use the tax effectively. They will not convert it to subsidies that I was talking about. They will not fund transport, they will not fund education, they will not fund the health care, and they will boast of having a lot of money that will be lying idle, that they call reserves. So we are in a tight situation. As it stands, the ordinary citizen will continue to suffer.
Villagers in Chireti South are appealing to the government to fix Chilonga Bridge, which is their only gateway to nearest town, Chireti. One of the community leaders in Chilonga, Livison Chikutu, said every rain season the bridge becomes impassable due to flooding on Runde River. He said there is no will from the government to fix the bridge because the same government is flashing money and cars to individuals, negating development in this community. Let's hear more from Chikutu.
Ya negore dzva 2026 taiona inowira zvakanaka nematambudziko kuno kuChiredzi South. Bridge rekwachilonga every year dzinotori news dzatinotaura pamusoro pebridge rekwachilonga, kutangwa kwegore nekupera kwegore nepakati pegore tinoona bridge rekwachilonga richiyeredzwa. Tinoona muna June, July vanhu vachiuya vachiti vakuda kugadzira bridge rekwachilonga vachisa matombo. Chinhu chatotoziva kuti chinhu chinotoitwa every year. Chinhu ichocho rinotori dambudziko iroro, kugara takaimba nziyo imwe chete. Kuimba nziyo idzi tichiti one other day government ichatinzwa yogadzirisa dambudziko iroro. Izvezvi Runde rwakazara, hakusi kuambukika. Vanhu vari kuenda nekunana Mupapa uko, naiko kwana Mupapa chibridge choko chinozara, vanopedzisira vaenda nekurutenga. Rinotori dambudziko roga roga rinouya muvanhu, rinoreva kuti kunenge kwadhileya zvinhu zvakawandisa. Umwe anoda kumhanyira kuenda kuchikoro, nditicha, umwe mudhumeni, hazvichafambi nenguva zvona izvozvo. Saka dambudziko iri toda kuti rigadzirisike, tisagara chiri chinhu chiri munyoso. Chanzwa kuti mari yebridge rekwachilonga yawanikwa, rakuda kuzovakwa, nevanhu vanopedzisira vakupokana pachavo, umwe achiti yawanikwa, umwe achiti hapana nemari iripo. At the end unozoona kuti for sure hapana mari iripo, asi yaingori miromo chete yaingotaura. Saka dambudziko iri tinotarisa kuti ngariitwe ripere. Tinogara tichitaura pamusoro pebridge rekuchipinda kuti ndo rakanga riri bridge ravakaramba kugadzira mumabridge ose akagadzirwa, asi iro rakangosara rakangodaro, which is a big problem kuvanhu veChiredzi South. So ikombela kubridge lili aliendliwe lihela 2026 ile imwanyani yemalembe angahinza anganditi hlupheko tebridge lekachilonga.
Back to our top story. We asked citizens for their views on the capture of Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro and whether a similar scenario should unfold in Zimbabwe, where Mnangagwa is presiding over widespread corruption and some of the country's worst human rights abuses.
Makadi vana veZimbabwe, makadi kumativi mana vese venyika tinotenda kuti makava negore rakanaka ra 2026. Tichitarisa pakusungwa kwakaitwa waNicolas Maduro neAmerica, idanho rakanaka zvikuru, especially kune vatungamiriri vanotyora kodzero dzevanhu, especially kune vatungamiriri vanotyora human rights evanhu emunyika yavo, uyezvewo nevavo vanoramba kutambira kana vachinge vadyiwa nemaopposition. Tinozvitenda zvikuru sevana veZimbabwe uye tinozvigamuchira zvikuru kuti zvakaitwa naPresident Trump chinhu chakanaka zvikuru ende chinopawo chidzidzo kune mamwe mapresident ekudzimwe nyika, especially muno muAfrica. Muno muAfrica tazara nemapresident ari kurambira pazvigaro, tazara nemaelection asingaitwe free and fair, tazara nemaelection asingaremekedzwe zvido zvevanhu. Saka tinotiwo waTrump, dai kuri kuti waTrump danho ravakatora kuVenezuela ngavaritorewo danho iroro vachipinda muAfrica. MuAfrica mune mapresident anogara pazvigaro asina kusarudzwa zevanhu, zvakafanana napresident weku Yoweri Museveni. Yoweri Museveni ari kutyora kodzero dzevanhu vachienda kumaelection. Vanhu vari kuurayiwa, maopposition ari kusungwa, maopposition vari kuurayiwa nekuda kwekuti mutungamiri wenyika wemuAfrica kana achinge achembera haade kubva pachigaro, anoda kufira pachigaro. Zvimwe chetewo noutungamiri hwaMnangagwa. Mnangagwa wakajiwa maelection navachamisa kaviri kesi, but havadi kubva pachigaro nekuda kwekuti vanenge vachitsigirwa nemauto. Saka tiri kuti isusu waTrump, regai kutarisa kunana South America chete kana kunana North America, tarisaiwo nomuAfrica. MuAfrica mune mapresident asiri kuremekedza kodzero dzevanhu, vari kumbunyikidzwa chichiita kaurayiwa mberi, kunyanya mutungamiri wemuZimbabwe. Vanhu vari kuurayiwa, vanhu vari unourayiwa nguva dzemaelection, maelection afambe zvakanaka, vanenge vachingoita chitsotsi vachiramba vari pazvigaro. Saka tiri kuti isusu zvaitwa navaTrump tiri kuzvigamuchira zvikuru kuti ndokuti vatungamiri kana vachiita maelection ngavaite maelection okusarudzwa nevanhu nokudiwa kwevanhu, kwete kuti vagare neumbimbindo hwekuti vanenge vachitsigirwa nemauto. Tatenda.
Let's take a look at our sports news. Real Madrid forward Brahim Diaz scored his fourth goal of the AFCON tournament as host Morocco edged past Tanzania 1-0 last night to advance to the quarterfinals. South Africa was eliminated by Cameroon after falling 2-1 to the indomitable Lions. On Saturday, 10-man Mali shocked Tunisia, winning 3-2 on penalties after the match ended 1-1 after extra time. Senegal also booked their spot in the quarterfinals following their 3-1 win over Sudan on Saturday. In the English Premier League, Arsenal extended their lead at the top to 6 points after beating Bournemouth 3-2, while Manchester City were held to a 1-1 draw by Chelsea. Here are the results of matches played over the weekend. Leeds 1, Manchester United 1, Fulham 2, Liverpool 2, Newcastle 2, Crystal Palace 0, Everton 2, Brentford 4, Tottenham 1, Sunderland 1, Aston Villa 3, Nottingham Forest 1, Wolves 3, West Ham 0. To conclude our Citizens Movement Radio News, here are the headlines once more. Maduro's capture divides opinion. 2026 is a year of people power, says Mkhwananzi. Disability rights advocates call for government to establish a national disability levy. This is the end of our bulletin. Good day.